Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Okay, guys, let me go ahead and start this reading. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and I'm thinking I'm not claiming any of this. What I heard, what I mean is, what I heard is cannot stop thinking of you. I'm going to keep my opinions to myself. I'm going to keep my opinions to myself. Okay. 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 Just, ooh, ooh, ooh. Just, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see what this is about. Okay. On a serious note, let's see what we're going to be told. Michael says I'm up to my shenanigans early in the video today. What shenanigans? I'm not up to no kind of shenanigans. Okay. I'm not up to no type of shenanigans. I'm just shuffling cards. I'm saying, I'm saying it's going to be okay. Okay. Hey, Mindy, you've been in my thoughts. Hot stuff. Hot stuff. Okay. I was thinking of you today while I was at the gym. Because I totally was like, you know what? Should I just lay off the glute exercises? Should I lay off the glutes? Because, I don't know. I think I'm getting glute dominant at this point. And then I was like, oh, I should take a booty selfie and then send it to Mindy. But first, I'd be like, girl, are you up for another thirst trap progress pic? You know what I'm saying? Because, I know you'd never be jealous of me. You hot. You a hottie. You know what I'm saying? So I'm totally like, I don't know. Should I? Should I? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay. So someone can't stop thinking of you. Okay. Someone can't stop thinking of you. Okay. Let's get started. First and foremost, boundaries. You need to have boundaries in place. It's important. It's important. Have some boundaries in place and don't let whoever this is violate those boundaries. That's first and foremost. I'm wondering, I don't know, is someone smelling your hormones? Is that what it is? You have some pheromones wafting around? It might be that. It might be that. I'm tempted to claim part of this reading, but I don't know. It might be a trap. It might be a trap because I'm over here they can't stop thinking of you. They're drawn to you. They're very much drawn to you. Something about you is magnetic. And then I totally was thinking okay, so are you entering into a stage where you're actively manifesting and drawing to you the things that are necessary? So if you're actively manifesting, that means you're about to have some pop-in news come in. I don't know. It feels like a trap. I ain't claiming nothing. I ain't claiming nothing. No, seriously. What if, oh, you got the wrongest name, boo. Sometimes, man, sometimes. Let me do this. Let me do this. Hold on, guys. I just be sick and tired of Facebook. So I'm just going to end my live stream on Facebook. Like, bitches, no. I'm not playing with Joe. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Give me 1 second, guys. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. What if I'm tempted to violate the boundaries? That makes you kind of an asshole, doesn't it? I mean, if that's a genuine question, I'm going to give you a genuine answer. If there are boundaries in place and you're considering violating someone's boundaries, I mean, doesn't that categorically make you an asshole? Right? I mean, should we explore this further? Should we explore this further? Or, I mean, is that clear enough? As someone who has had my boundaries repeatedly violated, I mean, yeah, no, I'm very justified in my stance. I'm very staunch in it as well. And I'm very vocal, very vocal. Just vocal AF. When you have that thought of, it's going to be cute if I violate boundaries. No, that makes you assholish or a full on asshole. But, you know, no, don't justify it when both parties feel the same. No, because that's a boundary. You just said you're tempted to violate the boundary, right? You just said there's a reasoning as to why your words are what they are. You yourself wrote violate the boundaries. Maybe you're confused. Let me put it on the screen. This right here. What if I'm tempted to violate the boundaries? I understood everything you wrote. There was no confusion there. There was no confusion there at all. At all. Right? I'm very clear. I'm very, very, very clear. I'm not here to be cute. Boundaries are boundaries are boundaries. Boundaries are boundaries are boundaries. Not sheesh. You portrayed yourself in the way you portrayed yourself, and no one else is responsible for the way you're portrayed but you. This is about holding people accountable. This is about changing the perception, changing the societal norms by not allowing any more of this caca. Not sheesh. It's not sheesh. It's I'm sorry. I am sorry for my inappropriate comment. I'm sorry I offended you as a person who has repeatedly been violated by people. I'm sorry, Emmy. What can I do? Aside from retract my words, what can I do to make up for the offensive nature of my comment? I'm not fucking around with people when I say I'm done. I'm not fucking around. Shit's not cute. And you don't get to backpedal and try and make it seem like, oh no, you misunderstood. I didn't misunderstand. When I say I'm not the same girl, it's time people see it. Because I can only say that so much. I can only say that so much. I need to start living it and acting it. You're the only one defensive. Let's put that on the screen. Was that defensive to anyone? See, Freudian slip, you are feeling defensive. It was extremely offensive to me as someone who is still over a year later embroiled in an expensive as fuck legal issue in a whole ass other country. Having spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars on a criminal fucking case because of someone who has a mindset like that. It's cute. It's cute. It's cute when I threaten you. It's cute when I violate your boundaries. No, you can't say I'm violating your boundaries because I'm being cute. I'm adding emojis. I'm adding emojis. Right? You're not sorry. Was it really that defensive to anyone? Yeah, the fuck it was. Yeah, the fuck it was. There's no but. You say, I'm sorry, and you leave it as I'm sorry. There's no but to it. When I say I'm sorry, I am sorry. There's no, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. You misunderstood. That wasn't my intention. This is holding people accountable. If I were you, let me put this on the screen, hold you accountable even further. Hold you accountable even further. Oh, Emmy, I'm sorry, but my intentions were not what you are expecting. No, here's the thing. It's not that your intentions was not what I was expecting. It's that your intentions were your intentions. You didn't expect me to hold you accountable for some really fucked up logic. You're going off on me like I know what this reading is about. No, you made it about you. This whole video is now about you for some reason. And it's going to continue to be about you until you hold yourself accountable. I deserve an apology with no buts, just a straight up, I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, I don't need your apology. I don't believe in forgiveness. You're just blocked. You're blocked. And this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say holding people accountable, making sure that we allow ourselves to acknowledge how people are affecting us, addressing it head on with no hesitation, no shame, no none of that. Right? No, none of that. Absolutely not. No, no. And I'm not just pissed off on account of me and what I have been through with multiple people who continue to violate my boundaries because they think it's cute. Because what? You see me as a spiritual public figure and therefore it could be a fucking free for all? No. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I am the face of everyone who never had the courage to put rude ass, inconsiderate motherfuckers in their place. I am the face. I am the voice. I will speak up. I will stand up and I will let people know with zero hesitation. You guys, find your courage. I am not the only person that has courage. My entire community is soaked in courage that you have not yet used. Use it, boo. Use it. And anyone who wants to see me as oh my God, she's wilding out. Oh my God, this is that. No, fuck them too. Because those are the people who have no problem seeing others treat you like shit. And then you're the bad one because you have a boundary. You have a voice. Use it. Use your voice. Use your voice. Be who you are. If they can't stop thinking about you, give them something powerful to think about. Give them something so ridiculously powerful to think about. It's going to be okay. It is going to be okay. Because the more you speak about your boundaries and enforce those boundaries, the less people like that will be comfortable coexisting in your space. There's other places in this world they can exist, as not here. Not with me. Not with me, a person who has had the history that I've had. I don't feel bad. I feel it was appropriate because they continued to escalate it. And so I went ahead and I escalated it too. I'm sick and tired of being the quiet person, of being the bigger person, of letting people think they can do whatever the hell they want to do because, oh, it's public. She doesn't want to. No, fuck it. Fuck all of it. And this is me acting the words I say. When I say I will not be tolerating any more caca, I mean that shit. I mean that shit. Mm-hmm. You know who it is, right, Mindy? Right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I'm not just about words, y'all. You got to act what you believe. It's irregardless, regardless of how I appear, enforcing a boundary, you know I'm real. You know I live what I speak. That's all that matters to me. Can't stop thinking of me? I'm going to give you something to think about. That I will no longer compromise myself. I will no longer allow a war to be waged inside me just to keep those type of people comfortable. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. To think that you have to stay quiet to maintain a peace that actually never existed. No, no. On the brighter side of things, since I've decided to shift my stance and really allow myself to step forward a little bit further into the spotlight of my life, I've been able to reduce my thyroid medication. Yes. Yes. That's why I'm not going to revert back to a space of, um, I don't want to alienate people. I don't want to offend people. Yeah, no, those are not my people. Y'all are my people. Those people, they're not my people. And I will not breed disease inside my body to accommodate that. I refuse. I refuse. Oh, Emmy, you're going to lose followers. Good. I don't want followers. I want equals. And those of you who see me be myself and enforce my boundaries and are like, yep, I need to fucking do that too. You're my equal. Because just like me, y'all have been the people who have been stomped on by those types. Now we need to speak up. We need to speak up and not be apologetic about speaking up. They can't stop thinking of you. Let them think whatever they gonna think, whether it's ugly, whether it's nice, whether it's just bull caca. I don't really care. All I know is I am reducing the amount of thyroid meds, and that is all that matters to me. I'm going to keep reducing it because I'm going to keep speaking my truth. I'm going to keep being myself and allowing all of you who I adore to see me live the words I speak to you every single time I'm on live streams. This is not an act. This is me. I'm done playing small. I'm done accommodating bullshit. No, no more. No more. Okay. Foundation is upside down, right? So this is telling me that we're being brought to this space of awareness that a lot of what we believe about ourselves and the way we hold ourselves, the way we see ourselves within our environment, it comes from an upside down foundation, right? And as you allow yourself to step out of that, it becomes something where you begin to emit a type of frequency that draws to you the very thing that resonates with you. In order to have resonance, you need to be operating at the same plane, same positioning within that plane of existence, right? Case in point, when I had groups forming to cyberbully me, yeah, I had groups forming to cyberbully me. Um, it was almost this thing that I was witnessing where the same resonance of shitty ass people were clumping together. And then they were forming these groups like, oh, we have to protect everyone from Emmy, who doesn't do shit to anybody. Okay. Okay. Um, the same thing can happen on a positive level as well. That means the same people who have the same type of mindset as you, where you want to heal, you want to hold space and have space held for you, you want change, you want growth, you want the world to be a safer place for people with the sensitivities that you have. The level of consideration you have for others, they have it for you. I mean, that's what you're drawing in. That's what you're drawing in. I love it. I love it. That's what you're drawing in. And the people who are positioned in the opposing degree of polarity, oh, they're so livid. They want to be able to stop you from being in a space of creating. I'm claiming this reading too. Thank you, Blissful. I'm claiming this too. Ooh, your soil is very fertile soil. You were designed to create. You are a creator. Manifestors are creators, not the creator, but you are a creator. You're here in the capacity of creating potentialities for yourself, opportunities for yourself. And in that, and allowing people to witness that, you are then gifting them with the awareness that they too can create these potentialities, these opportunities. Shadow mirror. This usually is like a questionable meaning for me. Like, ooh, look at that guy watching you. It's creepy, weird, yuck. But right now it's like, ooh, shadow mirror. What's hidden in your shadows? Your power. What's hidden in your shadows? Your power. What is hidden in your shadows? The most beautiful and most powerful parts of you. This person, that is a shadow mirror. They are helping you to see the type of power that lives in you. As you witness them, you begin to realize, you know what? Shit, I can do this too. Yes, you can. As you see them speak up for themselves, you begin to realize, you know what? I have a voice too. And I'm sick of that as well. Say something, baby boo. Speak it. Speak it. Depending on the circumstance and the environment, sometimes the most powerful way you can communicate a booming truth is to whisper it. And in other times, depending on the environment and the situation, the most powerful way to communicate is firmly from your chest. Say it with your chest. There's something shifting. There's something shifting. I'm not sure what it is. Whatever is shifting, it can't be contained. It cannot be stopped. It cannot be contained. It's going to spill out. So there's two layers to this. For one, it's a potentiality that can be experienced in a very negative manner for you. And as you experience it in a negative manner, if you don't allow yourself to see the gravity of what it's doing, the ways in which it's triggering change, it's going to turn your summer upside down. This is something that might continue through till summertime, through the spring into summer. You got to be mindful of the way you receive, the way you filter, the way you view whatever this circumstance is. The second layer of the message, it's serving as a very powerful impetus, and you're going to experience this, and just like that, just like that, like, oh shit, I know what this is. I know what this is for. Oh my God. My life is about to change. Oh my God. Amazing things are about to happen. I need to make sure I'm prepared. I need to make sure I'm ready. I need to make sure, I need to make sure, I need to make sure, right? Do your due diligence. Allow yourself to begin allow yourself to really begin assessing, where is this coming from? What is this about? How can this potentially play out for me? What type of signs should I start looking for? What type of indications is soul giving me in my life? Right? Okay. For example, at the gym today, um, it was leg day, so I was trying to go hard, couldn't go quite as hard. That's okay, easing up on the weights. And then came time to do my dumbbell kickback stuff that I do. And what that is when I use my equipment to attach dumbbells of various weights to the bottom of my feet. And then I do the movements. It works the entirety of your pelvic region, your hip flexors, all of your glutes, side glutes. It gets rid of hip dip, all of that. And I had my equipment set up. I just needed to go pick up a weight. I had earbuds on really loud. I think she heard me. I had earbuds on really loud. Mind you, my hip was already starting to hurt, but I was like, no, push through. And so I go to the weight rack and I see all of the weights from 8 pounds to about 12 pounds is gone. And I'm like, fuck. I think she heard me say it out loud. I wasn't like, I was just frustrated. It wasn't directed at anyone. So I was like, fuck. And I'm just like, that's fine. I'll grab the 5 pounds. I can do more than 5 pounds. I was looking for like 8 pounds as a light weight, but I was like, it's not there. And then I was like, oh, I'll do 10 pounds for the other type of dumbbells, but there were no 10-pound dumbbells there. That's why I was like, fuck, you know? And so I was like, okay, 5 pounds it is. And as I was about to walk away, there was a lady who was sitting closest to that rack, dumbbell rack. And she says something to me, and I was like, I'm sorry, what? I took my earbud out. And she goes, did you need one of these weights? She had all the weights. And I was like, uh, she goes, because you can just grab some. And I was like, you know what? I think this is God telling me I need to chill out. But thank you so much for offering. I'm going to stick with the 5 pounds. I've been doing too much already. I have. Thank you. So sweet of you to offer. Just you finish your workout. I'm sorry if I bothered you. I go back and I start working out, strap it to my feet, and I start doing my different kicking movements. And it's looking hurt so bad. If I had gone higher than 5 pounds, which again, I could do that shit so easy. I could do up to 20 pounds, but I was like, oh, I'll do lightweight. I'll do 8 pounds. And I would have injured myself. I would have injured myself. And there was a huge part of me that wanted to go back to her and be like, oh my God, thank you so much for being a dumbbell hog. Because you totally saved me. I would have injured myself today. And then I was like, oh, she's back doing her lifting. I don't want to interrupt that. So, maybe it was because I wanted to say thank you for being a dumbbell hog. But it was like, girl, do you really need like 6 different dumbbells beside you? I mean, she does that every time she works out. It's fine. She got to it first. People got to wait their turn. Pick something else to do until she's done. That's my logic. But that was the thing, is that helped me. It really helped me realize I'm doing too much. I'm trying too hard. I'm pushing too far. I'm not listening to what my body is saying today. And it was just a soft whisper like, slow down. It wasn't screaming at me. It was just like my right butt cheek was like, slow down, girlfriend. Girlfriend, we're a little sore. Please slow down. Yeah. And I was like, just calm down, girl. It's okay. So it's okay, booty cheek. It's okay. You guys, I talk to my body parts while I work out. You can do it, girlfriend. Two more. Two more. Push it. Push it. Yeah, it makes the workout go faster. But that's the thing, though. For some of us, there's something that you're trying to ignore, and you need to allow yourself to be well aware of that. I genuinely believe that the weights not being available was protecting me from hurting myself, because I'm pretty sure she would have went down. I'm pretty sure of it. So sometimes your intentions are not in the right place when your intention is disregarding where you're at within yourself. I think that for some people, can't stop thinking of you. I think for some people, what this reading really is about, it's not another person who can't stop thinking of you. It's you finally getting to a point where you are really taking a good, hard look at all of the different things that you need to see about yourself, so you know what needs to be shifted. Not because you're wounded, not because you're broken, not because you're not enough as you are right now, but because it's time to get to a different place within yourself, right? It's time. So a lot of what's happening really has to do with you getting to a place where you recognize the ways in which you're functioning, and how that function, how the way you're functioning is really not compatible with where you're at within yourself. I think there's a lot that we need to consider about ourselves and the way we move through life. There's a lot we need to consider about the way we see ourselves, about how unfair we've been to ourselves, right? I think once you begin to realize that you've been unfair to yourself, that means it's time for you to start changing the way you see yourself slowly. This is not something you're going to rush through. And you're going to keep thinking about these things. I've been thinking a lot about myself and the way I've moved through my life, the way I have unintentionally co-created a lot of the situations where I have struggled, I have hurt, I have quietly punished myself. I'm not interested in punishing myself anymore. I'm just not. The other day, and I hope sharing this will help someone else in their process of processing their life. The other day, I had already shared with you guys that someone from my past who was part of these groups that were intentionally looking for ways to destroy me. They had come on one of my live streams as though we're BFFs. And they're like, hey, it's me. And then I was like, oh, well, that's funny. You would publicly interact with me considering you're part of that group. Right. And they tried to deny it, which again, I don't fault them. Who would, I would admit it publicly, but who would admit publicly that they were part of those types of conversations? Right. So, of course, most people would deny it. Again, I would absolutely admit it. If I've said shit about you and you were to come to me and be like, "I heard you're talking shit." Yes, I was. I mean, it's happened before where someone has initiated a conversation with me. This is in high school though. Someone initiated a conversation with me, trying to get me to talk shit about a person, and I wasn't intending to talk shit. I was speaking my truthful opinion of the things that I had witnessed firsthand and how that was affecting my perception of that individual. And then that person went and told the person, they initiated the conversation first and foremost. And they went and they told the other person that I everything that I had said, which I had said all of that stuff. And that person came up to me after school and was like, "I heard you're talking shit." Yes. Like, "I heard you called me a bitch." I did. "Why'd you call me a bitch?" "Because I think you're being a bitch." That's my opinion. Is that your reality? I'm not going to deny what I said. I said what I said. Now, it wasn't said to hurt your feelings. This is based on what I've been seeing you do, how you've been acting. So, and then of course she was angry. She was angry because she wanted me to deny it. And like, you've known me since I was in seventh grade. You've known me since I was in seventh grade. We're like seniors in high school at this point. Like, let's not play around here. Right? And the reason I felt that come up, she started shit with someone in front of me. And I'm over there just minding my business. She started shit with someone in front of me. And then she looked at me like it was my job to kick that person's ass that she started shit with. Who the fuck is you talking to? Were you talking shit because I was there and you were like, you thought that I would protect you? I'm saying, when you wrong, you wrong. When you're wrong, you're wrong. And that's that. I'm not going to deny my opinion. And so it becomes this thing of, you know, going back to the person who was on that live stream, acting like we're BFFs. I realized, like, damn, oh, you don't know. Gave me clarity about the way I used to hold myself. I never said anything to that group. Again, I was given the screenshots of the entire chat. The entire chat. Never said a word. Never confronted anyone. Just quietly walked away and allowed them to continue their plotting and planning. Never addressed it. I mean, that's a long time ago. 2017. 2017. I did that for most of those groups. Mhm. I saw it as my job to just stay quiet, let people do what they do, ignore it, not take any type of action to correct it, at the very least to stop the behavior, right? Didn't have any consequences for anyone. I can't sit here today with that awareness of myself and my history and be like, I don't know why people did this. Well, I absolutely know. There was no consequences. It's a free for all. It was a full on free for all. Absolutely. Did I deserve it? No. Did I initiate it? No. Did I play a part in how long that continued? I absolutely did. I did. Because I didn't allow myself to speak my truth. I didn't allow myself to stand up for myself. Even back then, I had an awareness of how potent I can be with energy, with words. When I set my mind to something, I will bring that to fruition. I will not stop until I do. And I felt like I had an unfair advantage because I am who I am. And so instead of addressing things head on in a compassionate way, addressing it in a compassionate way, I allowed it to fester and I stayed quiet, and they became emboldened and it got worse and I still stayed quiet. That didn't help anyone. And I've been thinking about this for the past several weeks. Can't stop thinking of you. I can't stop thinking of the different versions of me that have existed since 2016. Specifically, from 2016 until now, I cannot stop thinking of the different versions of me that have been allowed to be witnessed by others. So many versions. Each one, like another layer of the onion, was peeled away, right? Another layer peeled away. A lot of people had different opinions of the me that existed then. The dominant opinion is all she does is help people. She's the sweetest. She's so generous. You have anything you need, you go to her and she'll give it to you. Like it's not even a big deal. She'll give it to you. You need a couple $100, she'll give it to you. You need your mortgage paid, she'll do it for you. Do you need free sessions? Yeah, go to her. She'll do it. And as part of the uniform that I wore to reassure people that I am benign, that I am insignificant, not a big deal, smaller than what you feel I am. I also was very small then too. I wore children's clothes. I often wore crystal kitty ears. I would often style myself in a very kawaii way, right? Mhm. And I looked much younger than my age. I looked much younger than my age then. So that added to it, right? That was a whole character that was being played. It was a valid part of me, but it was not the totality of me. And I look at the person that I am now, I don't even have the same voice. I don't even have the same voice. And some would say, "Oh my gosh, you've become really crass, really rude and obnoxious and so confrontational and combative." And I'm sitting here and I'm like, I think this version of me is the most beautiful I've seen thus far. I think this version of me is my most favorite one to date. And I cannot wait to see the way life continues to change me into an even more authentic version of myself. Like for me right now, I feel like this is the most authentic I could ever be, but I have an awareness of like, no, I haven't even explored all my depths yet. I just, I don't know how that will be expressed, but I know it will be even more beautiful. Because at some point, I don't know when, I will also outgrow this version of me that I find so beautiful right now. One that's very outspoken in the most empowering way, one that acts out my boundary enforcement with no shame. I will outgrow this. I will not always have a need to be so externalized in the concept of me needing my boundaries respected. But as long as this version of me is the version that I am going to love it. I am going to love it. I am going to be fully present. I will not shrink away. And I will continue to allow myself to look at all the different ways in which life experiences have changed me, shifted me appropriately. We have to learn to begin appreciating the person we are as we are that, with room for us to continue to unfold and be more of who we actually are. Allow yourself to take a look at all of these different things you've been through over the past several years. See how you've shifted, how life has brought the most beautiful parts of you out, right? Demi says, "Oh my God, yes, I noticed from your old videos, but I didn't dare to say." Why not? You could have said something, right? You could have said something. There's nothing wrong with noticing these things. There's nothing wrong with it. I know when someone is being disrespectful and when someone is just saying something and I'm being triggered because there's something in me that still needs to be worked out, right? There's differences. There's differences. And a lot of what's happening right now is this awareness of your self worth. A lot of what's happening right now. Michael says, you guys have seen this before, though. Michael says, to show you guys the difference. Do you see my eye roll? Did you see that eye roll? It was good, huh? Hold on. It is an old video. Very, very old. Very, very old. Mhm. This is embarrassing. It is. It's embarrassing, but it is what it is. Um, I'll show it to you guys. Just a few seconds of it. I'm not playing the whole video because I'm not in the mood for that. Okay, let me go back here. This is embarrassing. That's fine. It'll be okay, girlfriend. That's a part of your history. It's a part of who you are. So, this is the video. Here goes. Okay. This is so nerve-wracking. Live stream here on my personal page. Girl, you ain't authentic. Sorry. Can you tell that I wanted to cry here? Could you tell that I wanted to cry? Oh, you guys couldn't hear it? Hold on. Hold on. Oh, you know what it is? What it is YouTube blocking my ability to play my own video on my channel. Because you're not allowed to broadcast. That's okay. Because you know what I'm going to do? I just downloaded it. That's okay. So let's go ahead and let's just play the video. There.
Hello. Hey guys. So I just did my very first recording for my blog page. It's loading still. But I figured I'd live stream here on my personal page just to rock my authenticity. I found myself having this really odd, conversation with myself this morning. I knew that I was going to go ahead and love stream, but I found myself focusing on the fact that I should probably do my hair. That maybe I need to wear a wig or put in some clip ins or figure out which hat I should wear because my hair crazy. My hair is seriously crazy. It's growing out. I went through something last winter and I took it out on my hair. I was going to shave the whole thing off and go G.I. Jane, but my husband caught me with clippers. So I only shaved the sides and the back. I gave myself a pixie cut and I rocked it proudly, showcasing my cray cray. But now I'm kind of just, I wanted to grow it out and it's in a weird phase of growing out. And I just found it odd that, I talk often about being your authentic self. And the other times where I've worn the wigs, I was just enjoying myself. I was enjoying, having a wig on because I don't wear wigs. And it was just something fun. But then today it became something to hide behind. And so I felt that it was important.
We can only be as authentic as we know ourselves to be at the depth that we currently are existing at. We can't go any deeper into ourselves if we don't know there is a deeper depth to enter into. Does that even still look like me? Would you guess that that is the same person? That is me. Is that the same person? I don't even know who that is. I don't know who that is. That was a version of me that I find myself thinking about every now and then. Every now and then, I will think about that version of me and I'll feel badly. And you might be like, why would you feel badly? Because I never protected her. I let the world have their way with her. And I allowed her to think she had to apologize. I look at that version of me and I see how fractured I was. And I hid it so well. I hid it so well. And I allowed myself to believe that that was what I deserved. Because I'm different. Because I'm aware of the things that I can do that 99% of the population cannot do. Right, Blissful? I didn't realize that she deserved to be protected. She deserved what she gave out, which was nothing but love, compassion, patience. Cannot stop thinking of you. Maybe it's you thinking of all the different ways in which you should have done things differently, failing to realize that without that part of your history, you wouldn't now be sitting with a gift of awareness expansion that you have. I would not understand the world and my proper place in the world without having experienced everything I experienced. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't. That version of me would have taken the comment from earlier in this video and just be like, oh, you're so funny. Anyways. This version of me that exists today was offended and unwilling to pretend that it was okay. This version of me today stood up for myself when they began to try and gaslight me into a space of, you're just tripping. Am I just tripping? Or do I have an already publicly witnessed history as to why I would be extremely offended by that? It is extremely difficult to offend me. It is extremely difficult to offend me. Extremely difficult. And in that, hell yeah, I was offended. Hell yeah, I was offended. And it was still a show of compassion and grace to full on come out and be like, the appropriate response is, I am sorry. Meaning, this is what you say to stop the confrontation. And yet that was still ignored. And so, yes, I needed to continue. And so I did. I'm gonna start getting undressed in front of all y'all. I forgot to take off my I forgot to take off my waist trainer and my ass is cramping. Hold on. My literal ass. My injured ass. Hold on. Right, Mindy. When your boundaries have been threatened so badly, you have every right. Every right. Right? Right. I am taking it off. Good Lord. Jesus, help me. Mm. Situations we live through sometimes are like a waist trainer. They keep you all nice and tight, right? They keep you all nice and tight when you need that additional support, that bracing. But there are times when you need to just release. You need the freedom to be free. You need the opportunity to just be comfortable, right? To just be comfortable. Sometimes, as we go through these processes where we become aware of the very thing we've depended on to keep us in a space of being protected from being injured. That's why I wear a waist trainer. I'm protecting my back from injury. Sometimes we just need to be able to breathe okay and not feel so confined in the process of protecting ourselves. Life is really beautiful in that way where um, you have these various options. And as you become aware of the options, you then become aware that you have the authority to select options at any time in your life, at any point in your journey. You have the authority to select a different option, a different outcome, right? Just because you start something doesn't mean you have to see it through. And just because you don't want to see something through because you're afraid doesn't mean you have to stop. Is it a need or is it avoidance? Is it a need or is it avoidance? What is it? What you're going through? Is this something you need to go through? Is this something you need to stop doing? And what is your assessment based on? Is it based on fear? Is it based in avoidance? Is it based in your lack of belief in yourself? I think the title is quite misleading for this video. I think it's you needing to think of yourself and your history and what you've been through. I don't know that it has anything to do with a love reading and someone just being obsessed with you because they're so in love with you. And what if it's you secretly obsessed with yourself and afraid to admit that you're finally reaching a point where you're actually falling in love with yourself? Is it you falling in love with yourself? You developing an awareness of how amazing you actually are? Is it you realizing how little you've showed up for yourself and how long you've waited for someone outside of you to show up for you? I have this logic that how are you going to hold someone to an ideal that they can't even sustain for themselves? Right? Right. Gaze and blissful. Blissful says, I'm definitely on better terms with myself these days. I love that. And gaze says, avoidance in the hope that it will go away. Unfortunately, it does not. And when you avoid it, you leave yourself with nothing to celebrate. Because when you confront your hesitation, the reasoning for your hesitation, you then open yourself to the potentiality of celebrating the ways in which you are growing, the ways in which you are becoming an even more profound version of yourself. Even if the experience goes south and it becomes something that after it's said and done, you're like, damn, I can't believe it went down that way. Yikes. I can't believe it went down that way. Oh, man. Right? But you can still celebrate the fact that you grew from that you expanded your awareness of yourself from that. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Damn. Earlier, when I ended up shedding some tears from the realization that I never protected that version of myself that was just so fragile and timid and just so apologetic for existing, and that hurt me. That awareness of how I didn't show up for myself like deeply hurt me. But then now I look at that whole thing from just a few minutes earlier and it's like, fuck yeah. Mm, that timid girl faced so many fucking bullies and she didn't back down. She didn't immediately claw them, but she didn't back down. She didn't shut up. She didn't disappear. She kept right on. And she kept on until she grew into the person I am now. I don't need to feel bad for her because she still is me. Except now, that version of me is surrounded by protection and grace, compassion and empowerment. There's nothing to feel bad about. She had to be baptized in the flame. And when they tried to burn her down, all it did was turn her into the phoenix she's always been. You can only have so many people try and take everything from you that you work so hard for before you lose this fear of what's going to happen when the next group tries. There's not going to be a next group. There's not. Why? Because before it can become an actual group, I will stomp the fucking shit out of that. You see the protection that surrounds that version of me that was so timid, so fractured. so delicate. That protection is me. That protection is me. Mm. And I will never again allow that still existing part of me to face things without this version of me showing up. Never again. Never again. That part of me still exists. She doesn't have to be put away. She doesn't have to be hidden. She still exists. She is free to exist and remain as fragile as she is. There are other aspects of me that are strong as fuck. And it's going to be those aspects of me that stand in the way of anything in this world harming that fragile version of me ever again. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Give yourself permission to be a totality. Let go of all of that shame that's been programmed into you about being the powerful person that you are. For many of us in childhood, we already showed the adults in our environment how powerful, how formidable we are, even as little children. And because they were intimidated, because they didn't know how to parent that, they instead taught you to be ashamed of it, to fall back in line. I ain't even pissed at my parents. Well, my dad, yeah, no, kind of. Kind of. Not going to lie to you. Not going to lie to you. Not going to lie at all. Not even going to deny it. Um, I had the appropriate parenting to cultivate aspects of me in an appropriate way. Yes. Yeah. I never received compliments as a child, and that cultivated the part of me that really is not starved for compliments. It's just like, why are you saying that? That's fucking weird. Right? I'm just going to do what I do. I'm not seeking validation. I never got validation as a child or as a young adult. I'm not seeking it. Right? People mad at me, people that get in line. I've had people pissed at me my whole life just because I'm hard to control. Yeah, I never snuck out. I got straight A's. I did everything I was told. It wasn't enough. Am I mad about that? No. Because it cultivated the part of me that really just does not give a fuck what people think. Because you know what? I do everything that needs to be done. I do it very well, exceptionally well. And it just is what it is. Right? I barely had any type of supervision as a child. I didn't have any supervision, if we're really going to be honest. And I'm not accustomed to following orders from other people because of that. I'm not going to just follow your order. Reason with me. Let me know your logic, and I will make up my own mind. Everything, everything that has happened in your life, think about it. Start thinking of yourself. Think of everything you've lived through. Think of the ways in which that has really cultivated some of the most juiciest, most powerful parts of you, parts that are still largely unrecognized by you, right? Think about it. Think about it. And as you think about it, allow those thoughts to free you to be the very thing that causes you to rise. All of those fires that people try and set to destroy you, thinking that you'd be afraid. They even have you convinced that you are afraid. You're not afraid. You're playing the role that they tell you you must play. You have to be afraid because I'm intimidating. No, you're not. I'm sorry. You're not. Is that what you were trying to do? Yeah, it's not working. It's not working. Why aren't you afraid, Emmy? Well, because I had an extremely aggressive, narcissistic father. Yeah. Yeah. Very domineering. I grew up with lots of threats that he often made good on. I don't give a shit now. I mean, I stopped giving a shit even in childhood. I just did. I remember one time, as part of my core memory, I had stayed after school, and I let my parents know that I was going to stay after school so that I can work on the skit for homecoming. Right? It's like that time of year. Homecoming is a big deal to the high school I went to. It was a big deal, and so I said I was going to stay after school and work on the skit. Now, there's like an hour between the time school ends and when everyone is supposed to come back to the school to work on the skit, painting backgrounds and things like that. And what happened was my best friend's mom, who I had known since seventh grade, my parents knew them. Um, she came and picked us up, and my friend had to go back home first and change her clothes or whatever it was. And then the mom dropped us off at the McDonald's that was just literally down the street. Like you could be sitting in McDonald's and look out the window and see our school. And so that's where we were. We went and got some food, and then we were coming back because it was time. And as I get back, like all of my friends who had stayed on campus were like, dude, your dad's here and he's fucking pissed. And I was like, pissed about what? I didn't lie. I didn't go sneak off and see some boy. I was chaperoned by a parent you've known for how many years, got food and came right back. And as soon as I saw him, his face was completely red. And he told me to get in the car. And I was like, but I'm supposed to do this school stuff. He goes, no, you're not. I'm like, okay. So I get in the car. And as we're driving away, he's like, I should slap you right now. And I said, you mean to embarrass me? Why don't you drive back to where everyone is and slap me over there? Because I didn't fucking do anything wrong. At which point he told me I was spoiled. At which point I said, if you want to fucking embarrass me, take me back to where all my friends can see you hit me in my face so they can understand why I'm the way I am. He didn't say a word after that. Everything that's happened in your life is cultivating the most powerful parts of you. Yep. Did he hit me? Nope. Because I wasn't afraid. No. There's nothing the world can present to me that I haven't already been prepared for by childhood. Nothing. You want to insult me and call me bad names and make fun of my appearance. Been there, done that. It's no biggie. I'm not trying to be the cutest. I'm just not. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. It's perfectly fine. Everything that you have been through in life is cultivating the most powerful parts of you. Does that mean I don't think that I have the ability to be aesthetically pleasing? I could be cute as fuck if I want to. If I want to, yeah. I absolutely can. But what's that even have to do with anything? I'm grateful for the childhood that I had, not because it was perfect, but because it cultivated the parts of me that are necessary for me to live the purpose I was created to fulfill. I look back at my entire life. Everything happened exactly as it needed to. Everything was so carefully planned by soul, oftentimes planned in such a way that I could not recognize as I was living through it what it was leading me towards. And not everything that happens to you will be able to bring out the part of you it's cultivating immediately, right? When people are malignant intentionally, the way I react to my father, that's how I react to them. No, I'm not repeating this shit. I don't take it from my own fucking dad. I'm not taking that shit from you. And the part of me that was successfully indoctrinated, you saw it in that video, highly apologetic, extremely fragile and fractured. Still a valid part of me. It's not a weak part. It's not an ugly part. It is a valid part of me. It is from that aspect of me that I draw my love for other people. Every part of you is valid. Every single part of you is valid. But you don't want to believe. And because you don't believe in your validity, you have no gratitude for the way your life circumstance, your life experiences have cultivated you, perfectly cultivated you. There's no more time for you to drag your feet in this process. It's merely a process. It's not going to destroy you. It's simply going to deconstruct the parts of you that are resistant to the change, that are resisting your evolution. As you think of yourself, you need to begin recognizing the patterns of your life. Where are these patterns stemming from? It took me a couple years of being publicly visible to recognize the depth of effect that my childhood had, and that I was still in a space of being that part of me that my father kept trying to dominate, but just never could, right? Where I'm highly apologetic. I'm needing to appease everybody. It took several years of being that before I realized, wait, what am I doing? This is an entire ass pattern. What is this? Do I need to do this? No, I don't. Why am I doing this? Because it's unresolved. It's unacknowledged, therefore unresolved. Well, what do I need to do? Just face it. You don't have to erase it. You don't have to cover it up. You don't have to try and be the opposing polarity to what you're seeing. You simply have to be like, hmm, I don't want to be that anymore. I don't want to be like that anymore. I don't want to allow myself to hurt in that way anymore. And if I don't want to hurt in that way, I need to begin healing what is hurting in that way. The only thing you should be focused on is you. My father contributed what he contributed to my growth, my development, the cultivation of specific characteristics. He is not my focus at all. He is not my focus. You see, the toxic people who do what they do in order to cultivate you in ways they could never imagine it would cultivate you. Sometimes, depending on their title in your life, um, they'll seek ways to try and continue to be a part of your life, right? They will. They will try and seek ways. They will make these promises. They will present things in such a way where it's like, you could have all this. No, keep your inheritance. Keep your inheritance. Not going to beg you for it. Not going to wait for it. What you do with what is yours is irrelevant to me. I'm continuing forward. And where I go, you cannot follow. There is no room for that where I am going and where I currently am. Here's the thing. For people who have that kind of effect on my life, you have to be of a specific character, a specific level, minimal level of integrity, compassion, and evolution of awareness to be able to enter into the spaces that I currently am and I'm going further into. How do I know that my father won't be a part of my life, even in the future? Because he would never allow himself to progress through that. It takes a lot of looking at yourself and taking accountability for what you've done and the way your existence has affected other people. He would never. There's no future promise that I'm waiting for. This is just full on acceptance. People are who they are. And I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. I will never forget everything that's been done. I won't. Just like he will live his entire life knowing that his only daughter did not acknowledge him the last time he saw me. That even in the depth of my grief, I had no space for him. It wasn't punishment. It was the ending of cycles. I will not repeat that again. I refuse. I deserve more. It is not me being vindictive. It is me recognizing people's limitations and carrying forward without obligating someone outside of myself to force themselves to go in places they can't. It's okay. Not everyone is meant to stay with you on your path. Some people will be able to keep up to a certain extent. Other people, you leave them right where they are. And that's how it's meant to be. And for a select few, they'll stay with you the entire way. All of that is normal. All of that is to be expected. And all of that is already pre-planned by your soul fighting and clawing to hold on to things that really, why are you holding on to it? Why? Because of titles? I will never deny who my father is, nor will I ever forget how my father is. I only have one father. That individual will always be my father. Again, Father contributed everything that needed to be contributed, everything that he was capable of contributing to my growth in the most adversarial, most destructive way. And I'm grateful because it turned me into the little motherfucking badass that I am. I didn't just survive my father. I conquered and subjugated him. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't dare mess with me now. Not because of any threats, but because he knows me. He knows me. There's nothing to be angry about and everything to learn about yourself and the way the most adversarial people in your life have contributed to your strength unknowingly. Don't get it twisted. They weren't adversarial because they were like, I'm going to help you become stronger. No, that's not why they were doing it. They were doing it because that's how they are. That is who they are. You chose to be stronger. Although you chose to be stronger, not all of us chose to acknowledge what that did, which is make us stronger. Right? Beatrice says, like my daughter says, the sperm donor. I wouldn't even categorize him as that. Not even as that. He's on another level of malignancy. And I didn't even want to say what I would categorize him as. It just is what it is, right? If you don't see the context with which you've lived the things you've lived, a lot of the times what will happen is it will distort your perspective, you know? Right? Yes, Lisa, this right here. Just because they're family doesn't mean they're family. You hear a lot of people say, but they're family. Right, they're still family. But when they don't treat you like family, then you need to keep your distance. They keep their titles. That was bequeathed to them upon your creation. They get to keep that. But it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. And you know, one of the things that I recognize for a few years as I became aware of the things that I needed to become aware of about myself, my journey, my life, my existence at large, I realized that a lot of parasitic things were gaining access to me because I was seeking out replacements for these people, right? I was seeking out a father figure. I was seeking out a mother figure. I was seeking out all of these different things. And in the seeking of that, I was instead, because I was very distorted and toxic within myself due to my opinions of my childhood and the ways in which I felt I was failed, my expectations were not met. I began realizing, it took me quite a few rounds of realizing I was drawing people to me that were of the level of resonance of my toxic view of my parent or whoever I was trying to replace. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. There was this one woman who she arrived during a period of my journey where I was so angry with my mother. I disappeared for a couple of years. I just disappeared. I be that way. Like, fuck it all. We're gone. We're out. Nope. No forwarding address, no phone numbers, no social media, no nothing. We out. And I was so angry with her because I couldn't understand. I was still in a space of not understanding my expectations were unrealistic and unfair, and that they are regular people dealing with their own traumas and distortions. And so I drew to me this lady who I think she was about close to the same age as my mother. And on the surface, she seemed like a mother figure to me until I got to know her, at which point she was a literal scammer. Like, her own daughters privately spoke to me later and were like, yeah, no, she's been arrested for fraud quite a few times. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. And that experience was far beyond any type of toxic experience I could ever have with my mother. My mother's so far from scamming anyone. She's the most generous, most giving, most loving person. She would never scam anyone. She would just like keep giving shit away. And I was like, ooh, this is not better than my mom. What the fuck? Yeah. Yeah. And then I realized, you know, my mom's not even a bad person. My expectations are so unrealistic and unfair. You know, she had all of this shit that she had to deal with. And then plus being married to who she was married to, it's kind of like shit. Damn. I didn't realize. Right? I didn't realize. And then I was able to take care of her for the last 7 months of her life. And because I finally realized before I started that, taking care of her, the last seven months were amazing. It was challenging, yeah, but it was amazing. Right? We got the opportunity to heal our relationship so much. And it wasn't because she said sorry. It was because I entered into a space of knowing to the degree that I didn't need her to say sorry. I didn't need her to rehash all the ways in which she thought she failed me. We got the opportunity to heal because one day she tried to reinitiate the old toxic cycles. And I just looked at her and I was like, you're funny. What do you want for dinner? You need me to change your diaper yet? You got a stinky butt? She was so mad. I was like, you got some pee-pees in your diaper? Just fucking teasing her, right? And I was cracking up because I was just like saying off the wall stuff to tease her. And she kept telling me to shut up and stop laughing. And I was just, that made me laugh even harder. Because I'm fucking antagonistic with her sometimes. Just because, like, what are you going to do? She said she was going to, she said something like she's going to throw her slipper at me or something like that at one point. And I was like, you can't even get out of bed. Show me you can sit up. I was like, show me you can sit up. I'll let you throw a slipper at me. Show me you can sit up. Because we were doing physical therapy together, right? I was doing her physical therapy with her every day. And then she started laughing. Right? So, yeah, and I think it was at that point she realized like, "Oh, we don't have to do that old stuff anymore." It's going to take someone to have the courage to exit out of those cycles. And because you're the one listening to this, I'm assuming it's you. It's you that's being prepared to muster up the courage to exit out of the cycles that you needed to exit out of a long time ago. Well, why are you looking so damn good, sir? Huh? Where? Wait, are they already here? Come in the room. Let me see you. Does that mean I have to dress up too? I'm in gym clothes. You look good. Flex for me. You cut your hair. Yeah, you can. You look really yoked. Sorry, guys. My husband is dressed all nice. What the fuck? I need to go get cute. I need to go put on a dress. I shave my legs. He looks handsome. I think it's you, though. I think it's you that is being prepared um, to find the courage to exit out of those cycles. And if a person loves you enough, they'll choose to make the changes that are necessary to join you wherever you're going. You know what I'm saying? Case in point, I was taking care of my mom, right? And I was telling her, I can't stay anymore. My kids are getting sick. I can't live in California. California makes my children sick. She knows that. And she works so hard. She works so hard. Physical therapy every day. It was so painful for her. She works so hard to be able to bend her knees and her ankles into a 90-degree angle and her hips. Because I was moving out of the state, I was going back home. And it's an 18-hour drive. She had been bedridden for months. No, years. Years she was bedridden. Severe drop foot. It's bad. And she worked with me every day through the pain. To the point where she was able to sit in a wheelchair for the first time in years. When I arrived to take care of her, she was on hospice. I arrived either a Monday or a Tuesday. I rushed. I canceled my sessions. I never cancel sessions unless it's a family emergency. I rushed. Michael told me around 3 or 4 in the morning on a Monday. He told me at 3 or 4 in the morning that she was going to die that Friday. I dropped everything. I left that same morning and I made the drive to California. We arrived Tuesday. She was actively dying. no appetite. She weighed about 80 pounds. She looked like a skeleton in bed. She could barely talk. And then she made the decision to come back to life. And she began to gain weight. She began to eat. She began to be her naughty self. And then when she knew it was time for her daughter to go, she didn't want me to go. She didn't want anyone else to take care of her. And I said, I cannot stay. I have to do what my children need. And so she made the decision to go through painful physical therapy, tearing adhesions in order to be strong enough to go with me. She loved me that much. She loved me that much. She loved me so much that she uprooted herself from literally the only space she's known to move to a completely different state with different type of people, completely dependent on me, someone who is like, I'd be like, oh, you want to act up? All right, fuck it, we out. But she knew, not this time. You're not getting rid of me this time. She did everything she needed to do to be able to join me where I was going. When someone loves you to that degree, they will do everything they need to do to become the person they need to be to join you where you are going. There's no other explanation needed. And to be honest, I had all these plans. We were going to travel Europe together. We were going to get her walking with a cane. And then about a month after being with me in our new place, she decided she was done. She decided she didn't want to do it anymore. And so I did the only thing that I could do to respect her sovereign choice. I brought her back to California. There was no way I was going to fight the state because they would take her from me. We had moved to a state where there's not a lot of minorities and they don't understand. We take care of our own at home. At home. We don't put them in facilities. We take care of our own at home. Yeah. So I brought her back home where there's a lot of minorities and they understand. And then she decided to leave. Right? Look at the way your life has gone. Everything. Every detail. Keep thinking about all the things that you've been through. And when you think about it, don't allow yourself to enter into a space of feeling like you're a victim and merely a byproduct of circumstance. Instead, allow yourself to see the brilliance that you are. Even a dying ember glows brightly in pitch black darkness, right? Even a dying ember. You need to allow yourself to see the gravity of the life you've lived and how hard life has fought to cultivate the version of you that you are in the process of bringing forward. Yeah, no, Frey is on a whole nother level. He doesn't like to work out, but then he saw me transforming my physique. He's like, I'm going to. He's like, I'm going to the gym too. I'm like, well, you go ahead. And now he's all like beefcake, spole AF. And I'm like, hey. You will always see what you mean to others based on the way they act, right? Based on what they are willing to do on account of loving you. Look at your history. Look at your history. Um, she's watching over you with love. Yes and no. She was so not done with me and my siblings. She came back as my niece. Not joking. She came back as my niece. Yeah. So it's craziness. But my mom is always a little bit gangster like that. Ain't nobody gonna stop her from doing what she wanna do. She'll let you think you can, but you won't because she's stubborn. That's who I got it from. Look at your life, how your life has gone. Allow yourself to see what needs to be seen. Allow yourself to be aware of the ways in which everything has been stacked in your favor, even though it doesn't seem like it. Everything is stacked to ensure you become who you are destined to be. You can fight it or you could flow with it. Choice is up to you. At the end of the day, you're still going to become who you're destined to be, regardless of whether you fight or flow. It's irrelevant. Life always finds a way, and it finds a way because soul makes it possible. Do yourself a favor. Flow with it. It's much less painful, much less struggle. And eventually you begin to see and perceive life in such a way that it's like things just happen for me. It's funny. It's weird. Things just magically line up. Right? I used to have to fight and claw and so hard. And now it's like things just kind of line up. It just happens. No, it's because I'm in flow. I'm not fighting soul anymore. I look back and I'm like, I don't know why I ever fought you. You were always rooting for me, anyways. Soul's not mad. I needed time. I needed time to learn and grow and become an even deeper expression of the powerful person that I've always been, even since childhood. Same is true for you. Don't waste this cycle. Don't let it be a cycle where you're simply in a washing machine being agitated and bounced around with dirty ass clothes. Flow with it. I get this visual of that little baby turtle from Finding Nemo when he enters into that, like, I don't know what that is. It's like a water tunnel, and he's like shot across the ocean like that. All you have to do is enter into that space of flow. You don't even have to do anything. It just speeds you along. and drops you off where you belong. Okay? That's what life is trying to do for you. You're not a victim, despite people's efforts to victimize you. You are the authority of your life. You are the greatest expression of divinity. Start acting like it. Start taking control of your life. Start allowing your soul to guide you as you make these decisions. You are much more powerful than you realize. And allowing yourself this time and this space to begin really thinking of you and your history. It will end up with you reclaiming a type of power over yourself that you never thought you were worthy or capable of having. That is your birthright. It is not something you have to earn, but you do have to cultivate the level of maturity and awareness that is necessary to receive that type of power over yourself. You're the only one in control of the process and how long it will take. Do yourself a favor. Flow with it. Flow with it and see how life responds. Okay? I got to get going, guys. My husband is dressed for something. I don't know what. I got to get dressed too. I'm in gym clothes still. So I hope this crazy ass reading, today was a crazy ass video. I hope this crazy ass video empowers you in ways that you didn't think were possible by just watching a video. I hope that it helps you find pockets of courage that will make it possible for you to walk through this part of your journey with your head held high and no fear of anything presented to you. Because really, there's nothing you actually have to be afraid of. Nothing. I love you guys. I'll see you again very soon. I should be, I don't know. I don't know. I should be going live on TikTok tonight. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Posible. Es más posible. All right, guys, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. Quick reminder. I have the Black Magic Revocation Workshop. You dealing with some dark stuff and you want to negate that? This is a workshop to go to. You ready for the reclamation of your personal power and maintaining your auric field? Morphogenetic Fundamentals Workshop is what you need. You ready to launch your own business and be financially, independent from this matrix? Soul-based business mentorship is what you're looking for. You want to be part of a private community where we seek to empower each other and we talk about really deep topics. Soul Sanctuary. This is a recurring contribution for our church members. And we gather every Saturday morning when my squirrel ass brain doesn't fart and think it's a different day. Saturday mornings, we go in and have, our private chat over there, and you can come up on screen via Zoom, or you can just have your voice heard, or you can stay in the comments and communicate like that. But it's a beautiful, beautiful space where we talk very deeply about all kind of different things. And if you want to know what else I do, go there, emmyevolving.com. Until next time, I will see you guys again. Make sure you find me across all social media. I am Emmy Evolving across the board. And I promise to only have attitude when it's necessary. That is a promise. I will only have combative attitude when it is absolutely necessary. I love you, and I shall see you again soon.